The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? How long are you jakes going to continue to be simple? How long are you jakes going to continue not to take heed? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Kabar from the GMS Virginia camp, coming at you with another short lesson that I pray that you find edifying. You jakes, man, you know, you're in for a world of hurt. You know, you're in for a world of confusion. You're in for a world of pain. You're in for a world of just straight calamities. You know, and what's coming to the nation of Israel, those who have not repented, those who have not turned back, those who have not hearkened, those who have not, sought after Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. During the up and coming famine, you're going to starve. During the up and coming race war, you're going to be touched. And during the up and coming world war, when Russia and these other nations launched their missiles upon Babylon the Great, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai said he will leave you here and melt you. You people aren't paying attention to what's going on in the world. Instead, you want to party and bullshit. You want to do your thing because you don't think what's coming is coming. But while you're enjoying what little time you have left, your enemy is plotting against you. Your enemy has given you devices that will keep your mind preoccupied outside of the scriptures, outside of the truth. Your enemy has actually fed you things of the world that is unbeneficial to you. Salakia. And your enemy is on the verge of cutting all you people off by the sword. And yet you people continue to think that everything is going to be okay tomorrow. This whole thing can flip quite honest with you, any day now. The book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 6. They search out iniquities. Let me put it this way. Your enemy has studied you to the point that he knows damn near your next move. Your enemy has a thorough understanding on what to do to make you sin. And creates environments for you to accomplish your iniquity. He has done so with rap music, Christianity, putting women above men, homosexuality, effeminacy, if that's a word, his laws, and even his statutes pertaining to his laws. So everything that this devil has set up against you, Jakes, was sought out to keep you constantly committing sin after sin after sin after sin. They accomplish a diligent search. And that diligent search comes with refining his kingdom to make sure that you would always go off. For an example, if you Jakes found a way to somewhat want to be on your own, and try to somewhat live what you think is the right way to live, this devil will actually create laws that will prevent you to do that. And if he can't create the law to prevent you to do that, he would just off you. He would just destroy you. And say it was an accident, or say whatever he has to say in order to get rid of you. So he's in a perpetual refining of his environment to keep you in a constant state of iniquity before the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And you Jakes refuse to listen. You Jakes refuse to take advice. Both the inward thought and everyone, dig this, both the inward thought of every one of them, not some of them, not a few of them, not one of them, but every one of them. Every single one of them, their thought is it's fucked up. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So these Edomites that you think is on your side, just because they haven't done anything to you per se, they're actually plotting against you, to see how they can overthrow you. That's just the nature of them, to make sure that they stay above you. And this is nothing new. This went on in the womb. This went on in the womb of Rebekah, when Jacob and Esau was fighting in the womb. Well, that controversy is still happening today. The only difference is back then they knew who the enemy was. Today, you Jakes have no idea of the amount of planning it took to keep you at a low state. And regardless to how much this information comes out, you Jakes still don't want to hear it. You don't want to acknowledge it. You actually want nothing to do with it. But your enemy is constantly, your enemy knows this. Your enemy knows your state. Your enemy understands your mindset, because your enemy has sat back and watched how you disobeyed Yahweh Bashem Yahushai time over and over and over again. And your enemy has also determined that you people are hard-headed. You people are just you're hard-headed. And I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But with your enemy knowing this is what they do. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of lying snares privately, and they say, who shall see them? So your enemy is constantly plotting against you, day in, day out. These devils are even plotting against you while they sleep. So while you Jakes are constantly being hard-headed and rebellious, your devil to this day is plotting how to insert a charagma in you. Your devil has, or this devil has created an environment where a famine is among you. This devil has created a situation where this economy could just pop. This devil, your enemy, who you don't even look at as your enemy, is plotting to destroy you, Jakes. Here it is. This devil is setting snares left and right against you, Jakes, and you don't even see it. But, going into the book of Romans, chapter 11, I believe, verse 7. As a matter of fact, let me get that right quick. Because you Jakes, man, you Jakes are in for a world of hurt. When the time is upon you where, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to turn his back on you. The time is upon you where Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to pull his prophets off the streets. And just let judgment happen. The book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which is seeketh for? Israel is always searching for the truth. But when you're constantly listening to your enemy, you're not getting the full truth. But the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Blinded from what? Blinded from the truth, amongst other things. But you Jakes are just blinded, and you're blinded because you're fucking hard-headed. And these devils who have actually created the snares that keeps you in a constant, perpetual state of iniquities, that witchcraft is also keeping you back. And don't think for a minute, you devils are gonna get away with this. Don't think for one moment that, by you saying, they say, who shall see them, that you're not being watched. Because you're being watched. Everything that you do is being documented by the angels of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? Well, Yahweh Shem Yahushai has seen what you have done unto the nation of Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahushai has seen the snares that you set up amongst his people. So don't think for one moment that what you've been doing isn't being documented for you to be judged. As a matter of fact, I got a precept. The book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 8. Behold, the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushai power are upon the sinful kingdom. What kingdom is that? Babylon the Great. This is a sinful kingdom. The beast. Babylon the Great in his system. Babylon the Great in the beast system. And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. So you Jakes are being constantly warned of the up and coming calamities that your enemy that I just read about has or is constantly doing it to you. But you Jakes just don't want to listen. You don't want to hearken unto the voice of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and you're gonna have to pay for not listening. So I'm going to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31 and verse 27. Because this is you Jakes. Regardless to the information that comes out, regardless to what you see and regardless to what you feel, you do not believe. Because once you, Jace, have a certain thought or mindset in your head, it's it's damn near impossible to change it. Because you, Jace, will be steadfast in what you do. So if what you're steadfast in is iniquity, then you will constantly or continually do iniquity. Why? Because you people, as a matter of fact, this is sum it up. This is Moses talking to the children of Israel um, on the other side of the Nile, on the other side of the Red Sea. So, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31 and verse 27. For I know thy rebellion. And let's get that definition of rebellion. Rebellion. And this is from the Strong's H 4805. And it's the Strong's definition of rebellion: bitterness, that is figuratively rebellion, concretely bitter or rebellious, bitter, most rebel. So he understands, for I know your rebellion or bitterness and thy stiff neck. Let's get the definition of stiff neck, because this sums up you Jakes 100%. Stiff neck, H7186, and it's pronounced Quasha, 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 Salat, Quasha. And the definition is hard, cruel, severe, obstinate, hard, difficult, severe, fierce, intense, vehement. This is it right here. Stubborn, stiff or stiff-necked. Yeah, you Jakes are stubborn. You don't want to listen. You don't want to pay attention. You don't want to take advice. You don't want to hear nothing. If it isn't what you Jakes like, you don't want to hear it. But Yahweh Shem Yahushua, I got something for that. So something from the top of Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 27. For I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, ye have been rebellious against Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So here it is. Moses is talking to the children of Israel, and telling them, yo, man, you people have been rebellious to the Lord, man. And this is the point here, because it's happening to this day. And how much more after my death? So you were rebellious then, and you're rebellious now. You Jake's a stiff neck. So if you look at the image on you, like on the screen, like how this Jake is wearing this neck brace. You know what I'm saying? That he really can't turn his neck either to the left or the right, or look up or look down or anything like that. His neck is basically stationary in that position, whereas like in order for him to turn left or right, he's actually got to turn his whole body in a direction as to where he wants to look. But in that, the symbolism in that is there's no flexibility with Jake. There's no compromise with Jake. It's either on or off. It's either A or B. There's no compromise with Jake. And with that comes a sense of rebellion that Jake is just going to do what he wants to do. There's no understanding with Jake. So going back to Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 27, that was it. That was it on that. So here it is. You got the prophets out there on the highways and byways warning you, Jakes, about what this devil is plotting against you in the open. It's not like, it's not like how it was before where they was in a dark room, you know, conversing and keeping this information from you, although they are for the most part. But now, these people are starting to come open with it. They are actually starting to tell you what their agenda is. Why? Because they are just that close to where now they can tell you what their agenda is, and there's nothing that you can do about it, and what's gonna happen to you people, man, that don't want to listen, all out death, calamities, confusion, it's gonna fall upon you, because even back then they made it so that you had to depend on them. So now Jake has a little leeway, like a little freedom, to get right with Yahweh Shem Yahushai, although he refuses to do so. These devils have actually made you think that you're equal to him on a certain level. And I don't mean the elites or anything like that. I just mean the common folk. For example, you can go and get a driver's license like the common folk. You can shop at the same supermarkets as the common folk. And what I mean by common folk, I mean the common Edomites. You know, you you could go and do the same thing that the common Edomites are able to do. So Jake is delusional in a sense that he thinks that he's on a level with these common Edomites when in fact he's still in captivity. So even in that, you know, that's a stumbling block unto you, Jakes, because when this devil takes away everything that he is giving you at the swipe of a pen, at the flick of a switch, then you're going to realize your position. And that is you never had a position in this kingdom because this place was never meant for you to flourish. And those Jakes who have flourished have actually sold out. This is there's no way that you can survive in this kingdom without selling out. If you're a Jake, of course. You know? Let me get this precept right quick because with your stiff neck, your with Jake being a real stiff neck, he's causing other people to also be, well, how can I put this? A lot of Jakes aren't strong minded in the sense of having a sense of being different. You know what I'm saying? Most Jakes, although we're original, but most Jakes don't, how can I put it this way? Jake has fallen victim to what they call peer pressure, in that Jake is almost embarrassed on being somewhat original. Nah, I can't even say original. Having a different mindset than others because of the shame associated with having a different mindset than others. And what created that somewhat was, or is, like this this um this social media environment, being on Facebook and Instagram and something, stuff like that, whereas Jake wants likes instead of dislikes. And so with that mindset, a lot of Jakes, would bend, how they really feel for bending to what the masses like. You know what I'm saying? Because I say this to say this, and I'm gonna get this preset. Let me see what I want to get first. The book of Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. And it's, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men, So the same thing that happened then is happening now. Out of Israel, there went out wicked men. And what I mean by wicked men is those men not so much necessarily knows that there is Israel, but those men that who have sided with Esau Edom, those men who have, you know, taken the bag, you know, those men who um who are for this wicked kingdom. You see what I'm saying? So in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, you see, and that's a big thing that I was just getting into, that's that, persuasion, being that Jake is already simple in the head, and not able to, be original amongst himself. Jake would bend to what the masses are doing. See what I'm saying? So Jake is susceptible to a lot of persuasion, you know, um, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And the reason why I bring that out is because the same thing's about to happen during this time, during the time of tribulation, during the time of Jacob's trouble. Instead of seeking Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you have a lot of men who are persuading a lot of you Jakes, a lot of you simple-minded Jakes, to join the heathen, to be a part of the system, do things within this kingdom that would benefit you not, because at this point it doesn't make sense to think that you are going to open up a Bitcoin bank. It doesn't make sense to think that you're going to be able to start a prosperous business. It doesn't make sense to think that the house that you want to buy next month is going to be around in the next 2, 3, or 4 years. You see what I'm saying? That's you, Jakes, concentrating a lot of your energy into a kingdom that's not going to be around for much longer. And worse yet, that's not going to be beneficial to you Jakes who have put your trust in believing in what these wicked niggas from the nation of Israel are saying. Here it is, you got other camps telling the people that there's not going to be a Jacob's trouble, when in fact you're at the very beginning of it right now. Here it is, you got these other camps telling you people to take the jumper. They're telling you people not to prepare for what's coming. They're telling you people that all is good. They're telling you people to live life as if life is going to continue today, or life is going to continue tomorrow as it did today. Because what this devil is trying to do all over again is what's written in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. This devil wants you to depend on him once he takes everything that he has given to you away. And you Jakes are being told this on a constant basis. You still aren't listening. You stiff-neck ninjas. It's almost like you are looking at the man's mouth move, but you're not getting any sound. It's like that Charlie Brown and his teacher noise, the wah, 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 wah sound. But it's okay, because very soon a lot of you Jakes are going to be looking for the prophets who are out there on the highways and byways. A lot of you Jakes are going to sit back and not know where your next meal is going to come from. You're not going to know how you're going to be able to drink water. You're not going to know how you're going to be able, to be protected. You're not going to understand the situation because you're not going to realize that you have been in a war your entire lives. Everything in this kingdom has been set up against you to destroy you. Thanks to your enemy that you put so much of your trust in. Anyhow, let me see if I want to grab another preset. Being that I said it, let me read it. Let me see. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou, Salakia, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh Hashem Yahushai shall send against thee. And that's what he's doing now. 2/3 of you Jakes are either going to die during the famine, die during the race war, or either take that jab, or be mauled by animals, or whatever judgment Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has upon you. But the underlying point I want to make is what I'm about to read. In hunger and in thirst. This devil wants you to depend on him in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in the want of all things. And that's what he's trying to do to you, Jace, all over again. With the implementation, the implementation of the charagma, which he has ready and revving to go. And the apostles of Great Millstone has been warning you guys for decades, starting with Elder Apostle Tahar on down. They have been warning you, Jakes. They have been warning you. The apostles have been warning you. The bishops have been warning you. The elders have been warning you. The Akim out there on the highways and byways, along with these men, have been warning you. And those who teach the light doctrine have been warning you, and yet you still refuse to listen. You still refuse to listen. So, I guess I'll grab one more. Because while you Jakes are dependent upon the enemy, this is what the elect are going to be doing. The book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel as such escaped. So if, the remnant of Israel is going to escape, they're going to escape these calamities. They're going to go through them. They're going to be right there in the thick of it. But the elect of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to escape these things. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye believe. So it takes work and faith. And you hard-headed Jakes have been warned about doing the work, going out there on the highways and byways, teaching, preaching. Now, or helping out the ministry, giving the prophets some water, giving tithes, whatever. You've been warned, and those are works. Also another implementation of works is not shaving your beard, not eating abominable foods. And when you look at the Jake on the screen, he's a stiff-necked Jake who has a clean face, with no beard. Meanwhile, the man that's talking to him has a beard on his face, although he looks like he has an edge up, but he has a beard on his face. So you have to do the work. You know, you have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and to the best of your ability. You know, though you tell Jake this, they don't want to do it. You know, and which which also not hardens, but like it solidifies your understanding on why they so stiff necked, because they just don't believe in the Lord. You know. Anyhow, continuing with the book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 20. Let me start from the top again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as escape of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote him. In the times that's coming, the remnant, the elect ain't going to depend upon these other nations. The elect is going to depend upon Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for all things. So while you stiff-necked people serve your enemies, for the want of all things, we're going to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in the want of all things righteous. And I pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that I am one of those men. I pray that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai delivers me from the hour of temptation. But you hard-headed Jakes, death and destruction is coming your way. So I got to read Isaiah 10 and 20 from the top again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, what day? The time of Jacob's trouble. Even now, that the remnant of Israel and such as escaped. How are you going to escape? By faith and by your works. Of the house of Jacob shall no more stay upon him that smote him, but stay upon Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the Holy One of Israel. And so with that, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakarash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. And to the next lesson, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai, Habaratazah. I'm able to make another one. Wa Shalom.